BLTX Plus, we were tapping back into an interview that JR did earlier tonight, talking about a friend and someone who really know Reverend Jesse Jackson so well. That is James Felder. Go ahead and have a listen.
A great day, JR. I didn't expect all of this to happen and the kind of turnout. We ran a little long upstairs because some people we had left off the program, like Andy Young. Did you see him? You didn't get a chance to see him? Ambassador yet, okay. So it went a little longer than normal, but it all went well. It all went well.
Mr. Felder, I have to ask you, we've heard so much about Reverend Jackson's legacy, how he is as a civil rights leader, but I mean, you knew him way back before then. I heard y'all had a little competition on the football field. So tell us about Reverend Jackson, something that people may not know about him personally. What's it like to be his friend?
First, he was a leader. He was a born leader. You hear people say some folk are born. He was. From day one, he was a leader. Great friend of mine, and he was very, very competitive on the sports field, or whether it was marching and demonstration. He was always the leader. He would come out at his school. Now, he went to A&T up in North Carolina, and I went to Clark in Atlanta. He wanted to come to Clark, but I was the first-string quarterback.
There wasn't enough room.
There wasn't enough room. So when they asked the coach, he said, "Coach, would I be your first-string quarterback?" See, he's 2 years behind me. Coach said, "No, you see that fellow walking across the campus, that's James Felder. You play behind him." We didn't see him no more.
I can't say I blame him.
But we were friends through the years. We really started our activism in the NAACP Youth Council. Him in Greenville and me and Jim Clyburn in Sumter. And our mothers were beauticians. All three of our mothers were beauticians. And so that's when we got to know each other when we were very young. And that lasted on through life. We married our college sweethearts.
So beautiful.
See, to me, that's just an incredible story. You and Jim Clyburn from Sumter, Jesse Jackson in Greenville. Your mothers are beauticians.
Yes.
You all hook up that way as children.
Right.
You grow up, you become adults, and look at the accomplishments of each of you, the historic accomplishments that you have done, that Congressman Clyburn has done, and of course the Reverend Jesse Jackson. I mean, it's like a made-for-TV movie here. Really.
Well, it is, in a sense. Jim Clyburn and I always tell people we started our political careers in Sumter at the NAACP Youth Council. Then he went to Orangeburg and did sit-ins. I went to Atlanta and did sit-ins. Jesse went to Greenville and did Greensboro and did sit-ins up there. So our lives kind of converge in many directions. But the most important thing that I remember Jesse about was when we did those campaigns to get corporations to do business with black people. They weren't doing it. And so we went on a trek and caused the soft drink industry, Coke, the beer industry, Budweiser, to finally give up some franchises to black owners. And then we went into fast food. McDonald's, you see these McDonald's and Burger Kings here in Columbia, you got some black folk who own them now. It didn't happen before, but all because of Jesse, and he dragged me along with him. I became his chief investigator during that period of time. I spent 3 years in Chicago with him during that time. And when it was time for me to leave Chicago to come back home, he didn't want me to leave. He said, "Oh, homeboy," he always called me, "you can stay with me a little bit longer." I said, "I got a teenage son, and he's acting up, and his mama's giving his mama trouble." We stopped talking to each other. Then one day the phone rang. "Homeboy, we got to stop this no-talk policy." I said, "Hell, I didn't stop it. You did. You started it." And we were all right ever since that point. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Now, let me ask you this. Your paths converge as JR laid out. You're in different places, but fighting the same fight.
Yes.
What type of encouragement were you and Reverend Jackson and Representative Clyburn giving to each other back then? But also, I mean, the fight in different ways is still going on now. How does that encouragement continue?
It continues, I guess, out of our love for doing things for the underprivileged or for the folk who are at the bottom rung of the ladder. When we grew up, our mothers were beauticians, so that was kind of upstart business, middle class is what I'm looking for. And so we didn't suffer as much as other kids did because we had mothers who owned their own businesses. All of the newspapers that would come in would come to my mother's beauty shop, so we became a library all the way in the beauty shop. And that's how we learned about what was happening in the rest of the world. We used out of Chicago, the Chicago Defender, Amsterdam News, Atlanta World. So we learned what was happening in the rest of the country. And people, her customers would come in. They had time, even though they had long waits, to read those newspapers. Jet, Ebony Magazine, it was there. So we were like a community library, yeah. But Jesse and Jim Clive and myself, we kept in touch, even though we were in different cities, but we still had something in us about taking the next step, about going the next step, yeah. So you've got a person you're going to be interviewing in a few minutes who knows Jesse very well, Dee Wright. Okay, Greenville.
Come on, that's a good tease for what's coming up.
Yeah.
Let me talk about November. We first learned that the Reverend was sick in November. I know you were talking to family members then.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow he finds the strength, because we thought we were going to lose him in November.
That's correct.
But somehow he found the strength to get through Thanksgiving and Christmas and the New Year. It had to be a blessing for the family for that to happen.
Well, it was, and I was just devastated when I got the call at 4:30 in the morning 2 weeks ago that he had passed, you know. Now, Miss Jackson's not here, you know that, right? Okay. Did they tell you why? She got ill on the bus on the way down at Nashville. So the doctor said, no, you can't go any further. We got to hospitalize you and then send you back to Chicago. So the youngest, the middle son is with her, Jonathan. He's not here today, but Jesse Jr. is here, and so is Yusef. But she's okay. She's okay now. But this happened 2 days ago on Saturday, so she's not here for these services.
And you've had a chance to really talk with family members
Oh, yeah.
about everything.
Yes.
What about today? Have they said anything to you about today, about what's happening here?
They are shocked by what has happened.
Wow.
They had no idea that South Carolina would welcome them all out. I just left the governor's office. That's where I was when I called you. I've been in there for the last hour, the governor's meeting with all of them and taking pictures. But they just can't believe what is happening here in South Carolina, which they call, it's a red state. They say, hey. At first when they said, they invited them, they said, you sure? Are you sure we invited South Carolina to the state capitol? Yes, you're invited, and the governor's going to fly the flag at half-staff. Is it that half-staff? Yes, it is. Okay, it is. Yeah. So they're just excited. They're with the governor now, the family is. Yeah.
And I have to ask you, and then we'll let you go. How proud are you of South Carolina right now? The fact that people showed up. I mean, not just South Carolina. I talked to somebody this morning, Mr. Felder, who came all the way from Chicago to pay their respects, who's actually following the ceremony around. But when it comes to South Carolinians and folks in the Midlands, they have showed up and showed out today.
They really have, and I'm very pleased with what I've seen. I look at the lines here all around the state capitol. It's a good day for South Carolina, because, South Carolina has always been billed as being the lasting everything, and also lasting good in bad things, and good things we have not been done as well as we should have, So today's a good day, and the sun is shining.
And the sun is shining. Come on.
Not bad at all. Any final words you want to pass along about your friend?
Well, he was a citizen of the world. He stood in the force of history and changed its course. That's how I sum up his life.
Yes.
A couple more things, because unless you're in a big hurry, are you okay?
I'm okay.
Okay.
I had a few bad days, but I'm okay now.
We'll talk about his run for president in '84, because you were part of that.
Yes. The genesis for that was 1980. He worked the Carter campaign. He came through here, dragged me along with him, and we worked Alabama, Mississippi, some of the northern large cities, campaigning for Carter. And it was during that time, he said, homeboy, I'm going to run for president one day. 4 years later, 1984, he announced. But that's when it started, campaigning for Jimmy Carter, and he decided he was going to run there.
And then he's known more than just here in the United States. He did a lot of work to help free hostages overseas, and he's a figure known throughout the world.
He freed hostages, brought people out of Cuba, Bosnia, he was able to. So he's a world-class man, I guess you would say. And the Arab world really loved him. I remember we traveled to Saudi Arabia, the Emirates, Bahrain, and they contributed lots of money to Operation Push It. Without that, I don't think it would have lasted as long, but the Arab world really loved him. Yeah.